What's up guys, Joe Elements here once again, and today we're quickly going to go through the SmallHD 702 Touch, specifically for the Red Dragon or the Red cameras. I know there is the Cine 7, SmallHD Cine 7, which controls the camera. They've never mentioned that it will control the DSMC1 bodies. And so I opted out to get the 702 Touch, and I've already unboxed it. As you can see, it's right here on top of the camera. But quickly go through the slide. Once you take off the outer shell, this is what it says in front. And a very catchy business strategy is when you open it, this is what it says inside. And hopefully we have made a wise choice. So inside the box you get nothing but this is a screen protector. You get that and a quick start guide, and then a SmallHD screen wipe for you to clean your screen. If you have a look around the device itself, you realize that it's a very simple layout. So at the back here you have the labels 702 Touch. Under here you have in and out HDMI, and then you have also HD SDI output. And also the benefit is you can actually loop it through, so you can have HDMI input and HD SDI output, or vice versa. Also you have small mini micro USB port here for firmware updates and whatnot. I have been told that this NPF battery socket can be removed and replaced with a V-mount battery. I'm still looking out for that. I've been looking, but I can't find any V-mount specifically made for the 702 Touch. On the side you have a 1/4mm mount here at the bottom, obviously, that I'm using now, and then on this side you do as well. I see these small vents holes here on the side, and I presume that is to release air, because there is no speaker whatsoever, which would have been very nice addition for a camera like these that don't have speakers built in. So when you're reviewing the footage, you don't see anything, or you don't hear any sound out of it. So if this had speakers built in and then you loop it through HDMI, you should be able to hear the sound coming out of this monitor. But obviously that's not their priority. The priority was to build the very best monitor for filming. So at the front also you have where it says SmallHD. I have also mounted it with one of those small rig hinge arms that allows me to twist and rotate anyhow I want, which is really nice addition for me. So it kind of replaces my Red Pro Touch 7-inch, which I used to have before placing order for this new device. We're going to quickly have a look through the monitor and see how the quality is like. So by powering up, one of the features that I really like is it allows you to actually install your own boot logo onto the device. And as you can see, I've simply placed it as the Red logo, which the DSMC2 actually now has with the firmware update. And again, Red just abandoned the DSMC1. So that is a boot logo that comes up when I turn on the 702 Touch. One additional bit that I actually want to mention is the back here, these two batteries, as much as it is 1 and 2, there is no indicator anywhere on the monitor that shows that this is battery 1 or battery 2. However, on the screen itself, it will show you battery 1 or battery 2 in operation. So right now, battery 1 is completely flat, it's dead. So now it's running on battery 2. And so when it gets to the point where I need to hot swap without turning off the monitor, now I can't tell whether this is battery 1 or whether this is battery 2. so it's a matter of a guess game. That's one thing I think that the manufacturer, as they were putting things together, they forgot to market. So which means automatically you will have to guess and hope that that is not battery 2, and luckily that is battery 1 that I've just removed. And if you can see closer, there is no indicator anywhere saying that this is battery 1 slot, so which means you'll have to manually place a label or a sticker there just to remind yourself that that is battery 1 or battery 2. So going back to that, this is at its 50% of brightness. So if I quickly swipe and then go into the settings, I'll be able to increase the screen brightness. So I believe if I go to backlight, here I've got the fine tune at 100% and it's currently set at studio brightness, which is indoors. So if I want to go brighter, there you go, you see a big difference. So if I swipe back out, and there you can see the logo much cleaner. So this is a very nice feature for outdoors. It's 1500 nits. I'm yet to do a proper review on that when the sun is out. As in UK, you know, it's raining constantly. So that's that. Let's quickly boot up the camera and then have a look at the footage and how it actually looks like. The screen comes pre-calibrated. If you go into the settings and you go to calibration, is pre-calibrated to the target color space is DCI P3, which you could change, and also the white balance is also PCI P3, so DCI P3, so you can change that as well. So if I swipe back out onto the main screen, got your histograms here and the information there and your aspect ratio set. However, if you don't have a Red camera or you don't have a camera that gives you these features, then you can easily just touch on the screen and then you can go to add tools. And when you go to tools, you have all the extras. So you've got your frame aspects, which you can easily choose or add, and then it will display. As you can see right now, it's displaying. Let me quickly make that a bit more bolder so that you could see it. If I change the color here to red, then it's easier. So that will be this the aspect that you're choosing. You can actually add your own custom aspect ratio, so you can go to custom and then you can create your own aspect ratio. Also you have the basics 23.9, the 16:9, and then the 9:16, which is a mobile phone aspect ratio, or the 4:3. So those features are there for you to make the best decisions for your film. So let me quickly undo that, and this is how the SmallHD actually operates. Obviously, using a Red camera, you're so tempted to touch the screen and go to your menus, but remember, it is touchscreen, but it's not working with the Red. If we quickly preview some of the footages, you realize that the screen is very bright. I swipe down and then I can go into studio mode. I go to backlight calibration, go into studio mode, and then you see the big difference in terms of lights or how bright this device is. Also, another big feature is that when you swipe down, you can create several screens, several displays with different features. So instead of usually having to go through the menu and assigning focus, peaking, or zebras to several numbers or buttons, now you create the screen, so you just swipe through and then you go into peaking, and then you can actually analyze your peaking. So it makes it very intuitive. It's just the touch screen is a little bit laggy for some reason. I cannot tell. Sometimes you swipe and it doesn't work. I believe it's a firmware that needs updating. So that's it, and The SmallHD 702 Touch is very simple to use, very simple to use. It's my very first time of actually using a SmallHD monitor, and within 15-20 minutes I figured out how to use it. So stay tuned for more, as I'm gonna go ahead and take this bad boy outside and have a look at how bright it can get being there in the real world against the harsh sunlight of the day. Stay tuned. Peace.